believe it or not, this takes an incredible amount of leg strength. I can feel the burn quite severely. So, camera, you may notice that something is different about me. Something different in my mouth area. You may notice that something is different. In case you haven't noticed, I got my braces off! I got them off! I got them off! My teeth are free! I got my braces off! I'm gonna sit down now because I'm tired. But anyway, I got my braces off. And I'm going to tell you the story of how I got my braces off. So, it all started at the orthodontist's office, where my braces came from. So, I sat down in the chair, and they were playing The Little Mermaid on the TV. And, because they have a TV in the office, so the small children will freak out when dentists are, like, buzzing at their teeth. But anyway, so I got sat down in the chair, and he sort of like lowered me really far down, and I was like, and he said, "Are you nervous?" And I was like, "Yes," and he was like, "Don't be, it's gonna be fine." So he took like this tool, and I couldn't tell what it was, and he like put it in my mouth, and he said, "You're gonna hear a cracking sound," and I was like, "Whoa!" But by then it was too late, and I heard this cracking sound, and like I felt something like snap, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then he kept doing it like on every tooth, and then I saw this string of braces, and I was like, "He's just snapping my braces off," and he totally was. He was just like snap, 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 snap. Whoop! One string of braces down, snap, 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 snap. Yeah, and then I was like, "I'm free." And then he was like, "Okay, we're gonna polish your teeth now." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that doesn't sound terrible." Except earlier that week. No, hang on, that was Monday. No, never mind. Okay. Last week, one of the ladies who had a friend who recently got her braces off said after they took her braces off, then they had to take like a grinding thing and grind all the cement off. And I was like, "Oh." And she said, "Oh no, they probably call it polishing." So back at the orthodontist's office, he's like, "We're gonna have to polish your teeth now." And I was like, "Okay." And so he took this thing, and it was like really loud. And he also had me hold this tube, like this really wide tube, like near my face, so that it would catch all the cement that was flying out of my mouth. And he also had one of those saliva suction things. But anyway, he started like back here, and he started, and I started smelling smoke, and I was like, "Huh, well that's probably supposed to happen, since he isn't like freaking out." But yeah, so he just sort of kept on grinding, and I was like, "This kind of hurts." You know how like when you suck in like cold air through your teeth, like how it hurts a lot and it's like, "Argh!" Well, it felt like that, except constant and like more intense, because you don't really feel it in your molars, but I felt it and I didn't like it. And he just sort of was like, da 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 da, and then he kept moving up and up and up and up, and I was like, "This is going to hurt a lot, isn't it?" And sure enough, it did. It was the most painful tooth-related experience I'd ever gone to. And not once in my 3 years of having braces did my teeth hurt as much as they hurt right then. It was like, "Ah!" And they were playing like The Little Mermaid, right? And I was like, "Listen to The Little Mermaid! Listen to The Little Mermaid!" And but I couldn't. It was too loud. It was just like, and my teeth were hurting, and I could smell smoke, and like, like my entire body was like, and like my fingers were like twisted in every way possible, and I was clenching them really tight. I felt my knuckles crack, and I hadn't even like cracked them. They were just cracked with like the pressure of me holding my hand so tightly. And meanwhile, he was just sort of buzzing away, and it hurt so much. And he went across my front teeth, and he took forever on them, and then he went to the back, and then he took the thing out of my mouth, and I was like, "Oh God, thank God it's done." And then he started on my top teeth. he was like, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So he went to my top teeth, and he went here, and then he stopped, like right here. Like he paused, and he took the thing away, and I was like, is he done? And then immediately he was like, like on the rest of my teeth, and I was like, but he couldn't like scream because there were other people in the room, like other patients, and I would freak him out. Like, you don't scream in a dentist's office. That's just no. But he just, and it hurt so much. It hurt a lot, and it was like, and it was just like, and then he took it out of my mouth, and I was like, oh, he's done both things. I'm done. And then he took one of those mouth mirrors, and then he like shoved it in my mouth, and he put the thing in my mouth again, and I was like, oh no. And then he just started like buzzing like the insides, and I was like, why? And then finally, he was done. And he took all the stuff out of my mouth, and he was like, you can go rinse out your teeth now. But I was like, well, I can't, because I can't do a decent sit-up, and I'm like laying down. So he was like, oh yes, okay, of course. And then he started to like lift me up, well, like lift the seat back up, and then instead of lifting it up, he actually made it go down a little bit. He was like, oops, and then he made it go up really, really slowly, and I was like, ah! And so I got out of the chair and ran to like the sinks that they have there, and I was like, my mouth was like full of spit, and I spat into the sink, and it was black. It was like dark black, and I was like, ah! And so I just sort of kept spitting, and I could like taste the smoke in my mouth, and it was like black, and I was like, ah! So I started rinsing out my mouth, and it kept spitting, and it was black each time, except like less black. So I rinsed out my mouth again and again, and I was like, and then finally it was gone. It was gone, and I was like, oh, finally, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm good. And then I rinsed out my mouth again for good measure, because it was like, ow. And also, my gums were so sensitive, like even cold water was like, it hurt so much. And yeah, I was fine, and yes. So I went back to my chair, and I lay down. And then like the main dentist dude, like sort of sauntered over, and he was like, how do you feel? And I was like, weird. And I didn't want to say in pain, because like that would be mean. And he was like, all right, good. And then he took like another tool that was sort of similar to like the grinding tool. And I was like, oh no. He said, I'm just going to sort of shave your teeth here. And I was like, what? So he took the thing, and he started like shaping these two teeth right here. And I was like, huh? And he was just sort of like, and he'd like, no, a little more off here. And I'm like, he's carving my teeth. I've never heard of that happening. Is carving teeth a thing? And then he was done, and he put it away, and I was like, okay. And then he was like, alright, so we're going to give you your retainer now. And I was like, oh no. And they gave me like these things, and it was like, and they like shoved it into my mouth. Like the top one was so hard to put in that they actually, like my head was actually going like, as they were trying to like shove it up in there, and then they finally did, and they were like, alright, you're good to go, and then I left. And I went to eat Subway, and it was delicious. And also I got gum. I got lots and lots of gum, which was also delicious. But it turns out that my top retainer is defective, so I have to get a new one! Hooray! Thank you, God.